guys, Jeff here with Going Direct number 49. I'm here with a good friend of mine who just moved to the great state of Texas, Kristina Thorson of CardLadder.
Yes.
And formerly of House of Jordans.
Yes.
You will forever be Kristina from House of Jordans in my heart. How are you liking Texas so far?
I'm loving it. Chris Hoge and I crazily packed up and moved across the street from the AAC and got season tickets to the Mavs. And we just decided, you know what? Let's do it. And yeah, I'm anxiously waiting for the season to start and can't wait for those home games.
So you guys relocated here from the Chicago area.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have the pizza that you had there, but the Mexican food here definitely
so much better. Yeah.
takes that win, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
How was Texas in general so far?
Texas has been great. People are super friendly. It's really pretty. We moved in actually like the day before the 11 inches in one day rainstorm that hit Texas.
Yes.
So we moved in just for the flood.
For the 9 inches of rain we got in like one day?
Yeah.
My gosh.
So it's been interesting and just exploring the area. It's been really pretty. Like I said, people are super duper nice. Which I'm not used to because I'm from the Northeast. So it kind of throws me every time like someone's like, "How are you?" And I'm just like, "Do I know
Yeah, what do you want?
Yeah, like what? Like, why are you looking at me right now?
I've got my eye on you.
Yeah, like what do you do? Do not make eye contact. But like, yeah, so I'm slowly adapting and getting used to it.
So last time I saw you, you were kind enough to be a panelist on our content creator panel at the National. How was the National for you guys?
Oh, it was great. I always enjoy the National because I love meeting people and talking to them about what they're collecting, what they're looking for, how they collect, and just it's like this crazy like Disney World that like obviously moves around, but like everyone comes to like one place, and it's kind of like this family reunion meets like card store Disney World, where like there's all these cards, so many awesome things to see, and then you get to meet the people that you talk to a lot but don't get to see often, though now that'll change for us, fortunately. But like, everyone comes from around the world and around the country as well, and it's just really awesome to finally like put faces to the Instagram names or the Facebook profiles and get to meet in person and sit down and have meals with people and just really get to know them on a different level than chats and DMs.
I mean, most of you have probably been to a National. If you haven't, it's one of those things that you have to do at least once so you understand what everyone's talking about. Obviously, after the National, that's all you hear about for like a month from all your collector friends. But it really is. It's such a great event, slightly overwhelming, but you could go there just to see the people because there's so many collector friends if you're involved in the hobby through social media or whatever. I mean, that's one aspect of this, just seeing all the people. But then there's the events. You got trade nights. You got parties. You got panels. You got all sorts of stuff. And then you have the cards. So it's like it's a very massive, dynamic event. But I always say you have to have a plan, or else it's just you're going to be overwhelmed if you just walk in there and you're like, okay, I'm going to start at this table and then systematically work your way through. Like, you would die.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, my plans end usually at like get there. Like so like my plans, like I'm pretty much in charge for the CardLadder team, like travel and like organizing like who's where and how we're getting places. And then once we're there, then like my plans get to open up.
Yeah.
And so like when I was at like National at the show, it was just like a free-for-all. It was walking around, it was meeting up with people, seeing people who came to our booth, like going and seeing other people at their booths. And I never really, like, it's gonna sound so weird, but I never really like go in thinking like, oh, I should look for this card, or like, oh, I should talk to this person. It's more of a open, like, oh, it'd be really cool to see like XYZ people and ABC cards, like, but who knows like if those things will align.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It is, I do think, I mean, that's, everybody before the National is like, what is your one piece of advice? Mine's always like, have a plan. But I agree that you need to be willing to pivot because you're probably going to find something that wasn't in your plan that's going to be way cooler than what you had intended to do. But
for sure.
Yeah, there's just go. Just go. Just do it for yourself. If you're a serious collector, you have to attend at least one National. That's what people told me years before I ever attended one, and they were right.
Look, this year in 2023 is going to be in Chicago. So 23, Michael Jordan, is going to be in Chicago.
I hadn't even thought about
how do
that.
you not go to this year's National?
So appropriate.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It is.
Okay, well, when we go,
Yeah.
what is the one pizza? Because I love deep dish pizza, and I'm getting ahead of myself by like 9 or 10 months right now.
Yeah.
What is the pizza place I need to hit in the Chicago area? Because the
yeah.
convention center is kind of a ways out.
Yeah, so it's not in Chicago. The convention center and like all the hotels that you stay in is actually in Rosemont, which is like probably a good 20 minutes outside of Chicago. So it's definitely a suburb.
Yeah.
But it's a city suburb of another city. It's weird. I don't know. But like, so I prefer Giordano's. That's my go-to. But
Okay.
like I said, I'm from the Northeast. I'm from a small city that prides itself on pizza. New Haven, Connecticut. Look it up. Best pizza in the world. Hands down, fight me, at me, like we will go at it. But like, so I like Giordano's, but like I am not about like the brick of cheese that masquerades itself as pizza. You gotta put some stuff in it, because otherwise you're just eating like mozzarella sticks. And it's just like too much.
It's a cheese log.
Yeah, it's a cheese
yeah.
log.
Yeah.
And I'm not about that. So like I'm the, chicken, pepperoni, spinach, and black olives. Like you gotta, at least half of that like stack needs to be like food. It can't just be cheese.
So you had mentioned the pizza in the Northeast rivaling New York or Chicago, and I had to do some research on that because I'm like, what is she talking about? I got to look into it, and sure enough, the internet backed you up.
Yeah.
And I was impressed because a lot of people had serious hot takes about the New Haven pizza.
New Haven pizza.
So next time you're in New Haven, guys, you know what to do.
Yeah, next time you're in the Northeast, take the train into New Haven just for the pizza. It might be 2 hours out of your way, but it's worth it.
It'll change your life.
It'll change your life.
Well, so I'm jumping all around here, but I'm curious to know, because I got to know you and Chris through House of Jordans, like I mentioned earlier. How did you guys get started with that? Because you were in LA at the time, correct?
Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of a weird story. So Chris was like, I want to start a podcast, because he was making Instagram stories and things about the market and cards, and we're huge Jordan collectors. 90s inserts, playing years Jordans specifically, and like he was just really interested in the market, and that's not me. So I was just like, no, like you go and enjoy your podcast. And he was like, no, you have to be on the podcast with me. So I actually had him set up the mic for me on the couch. Like he was at the kitchen table like talking, and I was sitting on the couch like with the mic, and I would like punt in.
Wait, were you like handheld on the couch?
No, it was like
Okay.
it was.
I'm trying to
yeah,
envision
it was like
this. I love this
It was a
setup.
tripod with like an extension,
Got
and
it,
it was
got
like
it.
I was like holding it, and then I'd push it away when like he would talk about like numbers and stuff, and I would just be like gross. Which is funny now. But,
And Chris is very much a numbers guy.
yeah, no, he studied econ. Like he's a numbers market guy.
Yeah.
So he would talk about the cards and like the market, and I would like, punt in every once in a while and like give a little take and then like lean back. And I also had my computer in front of me and I was reading. And he went on for so long about like what cards were selling for that I actually fell asleep during the first episode. I swear to goodness, I fell asleep on the couch during the first episode, and I was just like, you know what, I'm done. And he was like, no, like because people would actually message me and they'd be like, I loved your take on the artistry of the card.
Right.
Because that was like my lane.
Yeah, you had art background, right?
Yeah, so I love cards because to me, they are art. So like I don't have any art on my walls. My art sits in shoe boxes, like tucked away, and like cards are my art. So like I would look at the card and I would talk about like, you know, the lines and how your eye follows like the shape of the player, and like holding the ball and like parallel on the other side of the card.
I remember these rants distinctly.
Yeah, so I would like go off onto like what it was about that card, and people really enjoyed that. And I had people, collectors message me and be like, I've had this card for 15 years and I never noticed this that you pointed out. And that's also where I like trademarked Ghost Jordans. I don't remember if you remember, I don't know if you remember that, but like when there are multiple Jordans like in a card that like, you know, it gives that movement look. I would call like those
the
Jordans the Ghost Jordans.
I like
so like I'd be like, there are 4 Ghost Jordans on here, and I still get messages where people are like, oh, like there are ghost so-and-sos on this card, Kristina.
Speaking
like,
your language.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so that's kind of how House of Jordan started. And then I slowly became more involved on the market side, but really like my focus was the art lane.
Yeah, I thought it was like the perfect combination of different perspectives. You've got Chris, who comes from, you know, a collecting background and very much loves the numbers and follows the market, and then you would come in and you would show an entirely different appreciation for the card. And it to your point, like I don't have like necessarily an artistic eye. I appreciate good art, but I can't tell you necessarily what it is I appreciate about it. I just know when I like something or I don't like it.
Yeah.
But you did a great job of breaking down what it is visually that is appealing about it, and you know, a card as a piece of art. And I appreciated that, because I frankly had never really thought about cards as being artwork. But you're 100% correct.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so you started out very hot and heavy in collecting Jordan, playing years Jordan, which I 100% agree with. Like it to this day, despite the fact that we have a lot of cards of players that are no longer playing, I really only collect players' playing years. And it's a big deal to me too. So you guys started out focusing on Jordans, and then you moved into also focusing on Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
Our boy Luka, our
boy
hometown
Luka.
guy.
Yes.
How did that, like, how did you guys get on the Luka trail?
Okay, so this is a funny story. So Chris and I, like, we were living in Los Angeles at the time. He was in law school, and we had to go home for the holidays.
Okay.
And we were driving because we had to go from LA to Chicago to Connecticut, back to Chicago, back to LA.
Oh,
so we literally did a cross-country road trip in 3 weeks. And
wow.
Yeah, so we like, you know, Blowout was big, and like Chris was reading about like everyone was chasing, Prism had just come out.
Yeah.
Luka Doncic silvers. And we were just like, okay, like,
well, remember our guy G was,
Yes.
Sorry, I interrupted.
No, yes, G. Yeah, The Lucky Show. But like, yeah, so like we jumped on that as a way to pass the time on the road trip.
Okay.
Of like, oh, there's a Walmart off of this exit that we're stopping to get gas. Let's run into Walmart, use the bathroom, because Walmarts usually have clean bathrooms, and like grab some product and then get back in the car, and we'll like rip and enjoy like the next leg of the journey.
Yeah.
And so we went on a Luka hunt across the country.
Oh my gosh, I love
And then
that.
like we would stop at card stores as well, and we'd pick up like hobby boxes, and this is back when hobby boxes were like $2.50 a box.
And you could find retail product on the shelf.
Yeah, and you could find a ton of retail product on the shelves, because this is December of 2018. And so we're like, you know, buying 2 mega boxes, leaving 5 on the shelf, and like jumping back in the car, and then like going to the next Target or Walmart and like buying more product. And so we actually did that the whole time. We're not hitting any Lukas, base or silvers. No, yeah.
Oh,
we're like
no.
not hitting anything.
Were you opening up in the car?
Yes, like as we're driving. Like
Wild.
one person's
Okay.
driving, one person's opening, and then like we'd switch, and like the other person's driving and the other person's opening.
It's like the collector version of Bonnie and Clyde here. I love
Yeah,
this.
pretty much. But we were paying for things, I promise.
There you go. There.
Yeah, and so, and then we actually like went out of our way, because I'd been buying from Dave & Adams for a while. So, like, we went out of our way coming back from Connecticut to go through Buffalo to, like, hit their flagship store.
Yeah.
We went and we bought, like, two hobby boxes and two fast break boxes. And then we go back to Chicago, and it's New Year's Eve, and we finally open one of the hobby boxes, and I hit a Luca orange out of 45 or 49.
Orange base parallel?
Orange base parallel out of 49.
Wow.
And like I freak out because I'm like, okay, well, forget the silver. I got a 49. Like I got it out of 49 orange.
Was this the first Luca you hit?
I think we had hit base at that point, but like it was the first. Yeah, it was the first parallel we had hit.
Oh my gosh.
And I freaked out. And I was so excited, but we still hadn't hit the silver. So like on the way back from Chicago back to LA, we actually like kept stopping places to try and find silvers, because we were like, how can we end this trip without hitting the one card we were looking for? So we found one out of a Missouri Walmart and out of a New Mexico Target. We hit 2 silvers on the way home.
Did? Oh,
like
good.
Right, like literally like right before we pulled into LA, like we opened both of those and found them. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine being able to go back to 2018 right before the boom when Luca's showing a lot of promise?
Yeah.
And things were taken. I remember specifically that period of time because Ohtani was a big deal in baseball, and it was kind of pushing into that basketball season. And then Luca came along, and it was just, and actually Mahomes was big too, Ohtani and Luca right around kind of the same time. But gosh, if I could just go and clean a card shop out of all their hobby boxes, it would make me so happy.
You know, just thinking like all of those boxes that I opened at that time and what they would then sell for later sealed, it's just like, what was I doing? Yeah, but it's always fun to rip, and I've been dubbed the degenerate pack ripper, so that's who I am, and that's who I'll always be.
By Chris?
No, by Josh.
By Josh,
partner.
okay.
Yeah.
So are you the only one on the team that's a big box breaker?
I mean, yeah, kind of. Chris will indulge with me.
Okay.
Because like he'll be like, well, if you're opening, then I'm gonna open too. But I don't think he would really buy boxes to rip them if I wasn't the one pushing for it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. You're a bad influence.
I am. I'm a horrible influence.
Well, so I have to ask, is there any potential of a return of House of Jordans? Or have you guys moved on from that? And that's okay if that's...
I mean, I never say never.
Okay.
There's just not a lot of time that we have currently for House of Jordans. It was, we would record for 3 hours straight sometimes for those podcasts and then release all 3 hours to the public. Yeah, I think that time is really of the essence there, and we don't have a lot of it. We're always working on CardLadder.
I understand.
So, never say never,
it
though.
shows.
Okay.
So that time is not going to waste. So, and I want to get into CardLadder in just a moment, but I want to first talk about Kristina the Collector.
Okay.
So, have you always been into cards, or was House of Jordans kind of the catalyst there?
Yeah, so the catalyst actually was 2016. Chris and I graduated university, and we went back to his parents' house, and his mom was like, you need to clean out your childhood bedroom. And so, so he was going through his closet, and like I'm decompressing after like a horrid senior year of like theses and things, and like I'm just like laying around reading books for fun, which I hadn't been able to do for like 4 years, and like just like letting my brain relax, like as I'm kind of looking for a job, but really just trying to take the summer off and not do it what my mom is yelling at me to do, and like anyone who graduates university. And so he found his basketball cards in his closet, and he spent the next 2 weeks like organizing them and reorganizing them and like looking at them and laying them out on the living room floor. I love it. And one day he was just like, do you want to go on an adventure and go find some product? Like I still loved to open packs as a kid. And I was just like, sure, like I'm not doing anything, like I'm just reading this book, like let's go. And so then we started going, and 2016 was a very different time, even from 2018.
Oh yeah.
Where like we actually went to Walmart and found 2015 Donruss basketball on the shelf still
No
in
kidding.
like June of 2016.
My gosh, it'd been sitting there for a year.
Yeah,
essentially.
So we started ripping it, and I started hitting Karl Anthony Towns like the week he was named Rookie of the Year, and he chased me through that product. Like I would hit him like every other box. Like I would hit some kind of awesome card from him. Yeah. And my first hobby box I bought off Amazon, which I would not recommend doing.
Yeah.
But like I didn't know, you know. So I bought a box of 2015-16 Donruss basketball hobby box from Amazon.
Okay.
Don't do it. And
do you remember the product?
It was 2015-16 Donruss.
Oh, it was Donruss.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
got it.
And so I hit out of that box a Karl Anthony Towns Elite Dominator Signature Series out of 25.
Wow.
Yeah, which was one of the best cards you could get out of that product. Yeah, the week he was named Rookie of the Year. So it was that moment was like it sealed my future as a degenerate pack ripper because I've been chasing that high of like hitting that awesome card ever since. Like every time I open, like I have a box in front of me, like I get that like anxiety, anxiousness of like, oh my God, I'm gonna hit something big. Like, and that high right there, right as you cut the plastic of the box,
Yeah.
like can't be beat.
I always tell people, because I 100% relate to everything you just said. I grew up with an obsession for Indiana Jones and treasure hunting, and I always think chasing sports cards through unopened material is like a poor man's treasure hunt. Sometimes not so poor man's.
No.
You know, when you're talking about like a National Treasures box break, but it is that same sort of rush where it's just the unknown. You know what the possibilities are, but you don't know what your fate is. And it really is hard to replicate that in any other way outside of, I don't know, maybe scratching, you know, a dozen lottery tickets. But even that, like, there's no value in those once they've been scratched.
Plus, there's nothing like people say like, oh, it's like gambling, but it's like no, because I get something even if I don't hit that chase card.
Exactly.
Like I still have amazing cards that are designed and like people put a lot of effort into. Even if they're of players that I wouldn't collect.
Right.
That I then get to be like, okay, well they're part of my collection now, unless like I meet someone else who needs them for theirs.
That is exactly the way I sold sports cards to my wife. She was like, you're putting all this money into it. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not just throwing money away. Like there's value in what I'm buying versus I could be like going out to a bar and just spending it on alcohol or going to a casino and, you know, leaving everything there.
Yeah.
There's value in what we're purchasing. It's, you know, it's a very calculated move for a lot of us.
Yeah.
So I think there's something to that. And I think, you know, it's certainly as far as hobby goes, it's a pretty clean, you know, family-friendly hobby.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so let's talk about Maxi Kleber because you have the world's greatest Maxi Kleber collection. Was it just the relationship to the Mavericks? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was watching Luka from his rookie year, watching the Mavs, and then seeing this player come off the bench that was an amazing 3-and-D player. And the stats, I think, and like I will fight people on this, the stats don't show his actual impact on the game. Like him, like they call him like the German Shepherd, like the Mavs, the local Mavs broadcast, because they're like he is like this amazing like blocker on one end, and then he hustles back every time to get on offense and try and help. Like, and I just really enjoyed that of like someone who you look at and you're just like, really? And like his nickname is Not Luka, like for the Mavs. Like they literally call him Not Luka. And like he has like t-shirts that they make him and he has to like wear and put on, and like they made a bumper sticker and put it on his car. Like this is like, you know, the fun aspects of like fandom that you like really get sucked down into with like, you know, their Sounds of the Baseline videos that they put out on YouTube, and like all of their social media that you watch and like get like pulled into, so you're kind of like you're a part of that world but like from far away, which is fun, I guess. But like so he just, I just really enjoyed his play, and like I thought that, you know, this is a fun like person to collect that isn't of like the caliber and the expense of Jordan and Luka.
Yeah.
So it was a fun collection to put together, and I'm still putting it together. And if anyone's watching this who has opened 2020 Prism Fast Break, if you have pulled the neon green out of 5 Maxi Kleber, this is the last card I need for my rainbow.
No. So 2020 was his rookie year. You have
Well,
everything...
no. So 2017 was his rookie year.
Okay. I was gonna say.
But he was first in Prism in 2020.
Got it.
He was not in Prism for the first 4 years of his career. So his rookie Prism card,
Yeah.
which I guess is a thing.
Is it rookie shield on that card?
No.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So I have the select as well going.
Got it.
But
Okay.
from 2017. But in 2020 Prism, I got the 3 1-of-1s. The black shimmer, and the nebula.
That is incredible. You just tracked those down.
Actually, the hobby is alive and well, and the hobby has an amazing community when they know that you have a favorite player
True.
that no one's interested in, except Maxi's mom, which
Yeah.
me and her, super tight. We fight over eBay sales. No, I'm kidding. But I got the 3 1-of-1s, and after I posted them, everyone was like, "You have to put together the rainbow." And I was like, I've never put together a rainbow. Like, I'm kind of nervous about this.
It's a big undertaking.
It's a commitment, which we see now is I have 45 parallels from
my
base
gosh.
to 1-of-1s, and I'm missing that 2020 Prism, Fast Break, aka Disco, Neon Green out of 5 Maxi Kleber. So hit me up, please, if you have that card.
We will, if I can remember, we'll put something in the description too. We'll find that for you.
Yeah, it's the last one.
I mean, I guess there's a chance it's still in product, but so much of that has been broken. You would think that the odds are that it's out.
At least one of them.
Yeah.
Like, it's out of 5. I have all the other out of 5s.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's got to be at least 2 or 3 of those that are out.
I would imagine. I imagine that someone hit it, and they were like, I don't know who this is. This isn't Luka.
It's not Luka?
I'm sliding it in my 5 row. I'm closing that box, and I'm putting it on the shelf. So I'm just saying, if you have broken Fast Break, search your bins, search your boxes, let me know. Like, I will pay for it handsomely.
There we go. And also, Panini product development people, what have we done to these poor collectors? You had to collect 49 different parallels?
46. There's 46 parallels in 2020 Prism. In 2021 Prism, there are actually 58, I believe. 12
Holy
additional
smokes.
for 75th anniversary.
That is, like you said, true commitment.
Yeah,
you have
undertaking.
earned this last one.
Yeah.
We got to find that for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got to get into CardLadder.
Yeah.
So talk to me about CardLadder. How did this concept come about?
Okay. Oh, this is like Christina's story time. I love it. I never get to talk this much on crossover.
This is your time. Heck yeah, I'm just setting you up to shine.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so House of Jordans exists. Chris is talking about the market, and then he puts together this spreadsheet for his cards to like track, and he was messaged and asked if if someone else could see the spreadsheet that he always references, and he was like, sure. And then he like would start sending it out, and so this manual spreadsheet that he would update every time there was a sale on one of the cards that we collect. He would like send that out to certain people, and then it made its way through through the Jordan collectors, and then LeBron collectors started hearing about this Jordan spreadsheet that tracks like high-end Jordan cards.
I love it.
And our friend Josh Johnson, Cardboard Chronicles, who's a huge LeBron collector, was like, I want LeBron cards on there, and like I could help you by building software so it's not like manually punching in every sale and like date and things. And the two of them got together, and like Chris created this business plan, and like Josh created the tech, and then it all came together, and they're the founders, and then I was brought on as well to like help other things, everything else in between. And we have Nick Stiff Arm Wax, who is our content producer.
Big fan.
Yes. And he does all of our social media and all of our graphics, all of the editing for everything, content. And the four of us have come kind of far.
Well, I would say so. So
a lot of hard work.
Well, obviously. I mean, you guys, to think, and if you guys haven't been to the site, I don't know what you're doing, but CardLadder.com, it's like you have captured so much data there. It's incredible. And I remember talking to you and Chris like probably 2 years ago. I don't know. I'm guessing it was that far. But you guys were really putting in some long days, just capturing data, tracking sales. And it is a resource that is so incredibly helpful. Like, I can't tell you, even the 10 months I've been here at Panini, I've used CardLadder so many times for information I needed for like presentations or just background gathering. And you make it so simple, just entering in, you know, literally I needed like the biggest UFC card sales, you know, ever. It took me 5 minutes on there to track down like the last 25 sales in order. And it's so user-friendly. You guys have an app, it's fantastic. I obviously I use it, I believe in it, but I'm so happy someone did this because that was something the hobby needed forever. And it's one of the beautiful things about what our hobby has become. It's evolved so much, primarily through technology. And like you guys have made collecting, you made going to a show easier because you can get comps really quickly versus, you know, the kind of sketchy comps you get on eBay. Just searching through those, you don't know whether it actually went through, it was returned.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all have helped us out a ton.
Thank you. Thank you so much for saying that.
Well, no, I mean it. And so, you guys have such an interesting dynamic. So it's you, Chris, Josh, and Nick, and the four of you, and I'm sure there are some other kind of ancillary characters, but you guys have made so much. Like, how does that group work together? Like, what is the dynamic like when you guys are in a meeting or something?
It's a lot of what you hear on Crossover, actually. It's a lot of like Chris and Josh going back and forth, and then me being sarcastic and witty and like chiming in, and me telling people like don't do stupid things. And no, I'm kidding. It's, you know, we work really well together. People know like what their lane is and like where they are, where their voice should be heard loudest, and we all respect that. And so it's a lot of like, you know, we come together, we talk it out, and then we say, okay, like I defer to you because this is your, like this is what you know. So like yeah, so it's a lot of that. And I don't know, it works, knock on wood.
It works beautifully.
It works well, and I'm really proud of everything we've built and the three amazing gentlemen that I get to work with who are super supportive of me as well. As many people know, like this, you know, is kind of like a man's game in a lot of ways. Like there's a lot of men in this hobby. And I have the pleasure of working with three true gentlemen who respect and appreciate me and what I bring to the table. And yeah, it's been such an amazing ride. Like words can't express how thankful I am. And I've talked to you about this before. You know, I had a job I hated before CardLadder, and like I was in higher education. I worked for a university, did not enjoy what I was doing, wasn't really given leeway to grow or do anything really outside of my very confined job description. And then like we started CardLadder, and I got to really expand like everything I like about CardLadder. Is something that I get to do every day. So I get to do research, I get to talk to other businesses in the hobby, I get to work with content creators and help them do their research so that they can do their podcasts and their shows or presentations easier, and we get to help them that way. And then we're also just a collector's tool. Like, we help you track your collection, and we help you find comps, and we track 15 different marketplaces and auction houses, and we try to make it as easy as possible, because at the end of the day, like, the four of us are collectors, and that's always in the forefront of our minds. And every time we make a business decision, like, we ask ourselves, what's in the best interest of the hobby? You know, it's not about the four of us, it's about this larger community, because even if CardLadder didn't exist, the four of us would still be in the hobby.
Right.
Even if, like, there, you know, even if, you know, not saying that there is, but, like, even if there was, like, a crash and, like, you know, cards lost value, the four of us would still be collecting.
Yeah.
Even if there was no money to be made, like, we would still be collecting.
Right.
So, I think that's resonates with a lot of collectors, and they realize that, you know, that passion, like collecting a Kleba rainbow, like, you're not selling that for money, like, you're not flipping that, like, that is just pure passion, and people respect that. And, like, I think that that's what's helped us with CardLadder, and taking feedback from users and making it better. And since it's just four of us, we're very nimble. You know, Josh can make quick changes to the website because he built the whole thing. So, you know, someone says, oh, I wish I could do X, and we're like, oh my gosh, like, yes, because we didn't think of it, because we're in the day-to-day running and we're not, you know, thinking about it in those terms. So we can then make those shifts and those pivots and get that done for the collector. And yeah, I don't know where else I was going with that, but
no,
yeah.
that's well, and this is something you and I had talked about a while back, but I love and it makes me feel comfortable and happy to know that a resource I used is run by a bunch of collectors. They aren't just people who happen to have these skills. They're people that genuinely, like, empathize with what myself and other people who use the site are looking for and wanting. And for example, early on, I mentioned Chris through, like, an Instagram DM. I was like, dude, wouldn't it be cool if you guys were able to break up the collections so you could say, like, maybe here's my overall collection and value, and look at that, but also if I could say, hey, I have, you know, $5,000 worth of Luka, and then $5,000 worth of Trae Young cards. And sure enough, it's like you guys are constantly evolving. I love checking in because there's always new updates, always new notifications that I hear about. And you guys have done a really good job of listening to what collectors want, as opposed to just, this is what you guys get because this is what we're gonna do and we think we know best for you guys. Yes, I'm sure there's a certain amount of, like, we think collectors are gonna like this because we're collectors, but I want to think you guys are probably listening to a lot of input you're getting and weighing that in on decisions and stuff.
Oh, for sure, all the time. That's, I think, one of the most important things of CardLadder is our members and the feedback that we get from them.
Cool.
How to adapt for, like you said, like, breaking out your collection, and, like, how we can, like, do that for people. And I think that that's something that we try to always put ourselves in the mindset of, okay, like, if this was a product we used and we had feedback, we would want them to hear, like, we would want the people who were running that to actually listen and give it a fair shake. And we really do that, and we really try to every time there's feedback, like, sit down and be like, okay, like, let's look at this. Like, if someone's asking for it, chances are at least, like, 10 others behind them are being silent about it, but it would be beneficial to them too.
Yeah.
So is it something we can do? What's the time frame? Like, what's the effort or what's the expense that's going to go into having to do this? Is this something we can do? And is it what's in the best interest of the hobby? So
all this hard work kind of came to fruition not long ago. You guys were purchased.
Yeah.
It's like a dream scenario. Your baby was purchased, but you maintain your positions, and, like, it was Collectors who owns PSA. Is it Collectors Universe or Collectors? I know it's...
I believe it's Collectors now.
Collectors, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
What is it like building something, being a part of something that's built from the ground up and then, somebody purchasing it?
It's interesting. I would equate it to like you putting together like a master set. Mm-hmm. And like you put a lot of effort and time into this, and like maybe, I don't know, because you still see like the potential to grow it, so maybe that's not like the greatest comparison, but you put a lot of time and effort into this. Like Chris and I haven't had a day off since March of 2020 to this day.
Gosh.
Like we have not taken a day off. We do sales every night. We add cards every day. We do feedback and business partnerships, and we do meetings like every day. We're working through national, like through like everything.
Yep.
Like we have, like I told people, like we're Cinderella. Like at a certain time every night, we have to leave where we are, go back to the hotel, do our like nightly sales.
The magic.
Yeah, do the magic, and then potentially like go back out if like we finish in time. But like that's always the priority is like making sure that collectors wake up the next morning with the new comps and like they have their collection is updated with like everything they need and the site is running well and like properly, and that is always the priority over everything. And even over Christmas, like doesn't matter. Like it doesn't
There's
matter.
There's still sales happening.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, it does. As a user, like you do get kind of wrapped up in. We're so spoiled that it's almost like, oh, this site is running itself, and there's no one pushing any buttons behind the scenes. But you guys do such a good job of keeping it fluid and always evolving.
Yeah, and like we are the ones pushing the buttons behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So like when we were acquired, it was very important to us that like we stayed agnostic, we stayed separate, and we were still the ones who were making decisions for collectors and for our members and users. And it has been like a dream. Like we were acquired, and we still get to run this, and we still get to work in the hobby, and that's like the thing, right? Like I think that's where I was going before. When like I hated my job before CardLadder, and I would always say to myself, like I have to go to work. Like I have to go to work today. Like it's something that has to be done, and I'd use my sick time like as soon as I got it. Like I'd be like, oh, I'm taking a mental health day like every month. And now it's I get to go to work.
Yeah,
I get to go to work today, and that's awesome. I wake up and I'm excited because it's like, what am I doing today? And like today I'm going to Panini's headquarters and I'm filming a podcast, and like that's a dream come true. If you told me in 2019 that like I would get to come here and film a podcast with like a friend and like we would talk about cards, like I'd be like, what are you smoking and how could I get a hold of it? Like, right? Like, like so it's very much a dream, and like I feel very fortunate, and I work hard and so does everyone on our team, but it's something we're passionate about. So even when we're working, and even when you're dealing with something that you wish you didn't have to or is kind of frustrating, you're still doing something you love. Right. And that attitude just like shifts your whole psychology every day, and it's amazing. I'm very blessed.
You guys work so hard and you put in these crazy days. Like you said, you haven't had a day off since 2020. Did you let yourself splurge on, even if it was a little splurge after the acquisition? Did you guys let yourself, like, did you take it? I guess you didn't technically take a day off, but
no.
Did you buy anything, or?
Yes.
Okay. Well, can you talk about it? I'm so curious, because I think that's everybody's dream, is to be able to build something and then have someone purchase all the hard work they put into that. But then you also you got to treat yourself to something, right?
Yes. I purchased the 2018 Optic Gold Luka Doncic.
Ooh, nice.
Yes. And I was very excited about that card.
That's a big deal.
It was. It's a very big deal. Yeah, it was really awesome, and it's kind of like, this was all of the hard work that I put in, and here's like a little gift to myself and my PC.
Gosh, did Chris splurge on anything? Are we able to say?
I don't know. He bought it's shared money, but like, so we bought the Optic Gold, and we also bought a Select Gold Luca.
Oh, nice.
Yes. We got those both.
You guys have such an amazing Luca collection. It just makes me so jealous.
Those were 2 cards that we bought.
Seemed like a very appropriate splurge for you two with the scenario.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, so one last question, and then we're gonna get into opening some cards, because I heard you like to open some cards.
I do.
What can you tell us what's on tap for CardLadder? Are you able to talk about like what's coming up? You guys are constantly evolving, so tomorrow you're gonna be different than you were today. But like, is there any fun, anything we can preview that's coming up?
I'm trying to think. I'm not really sure.
That's all right.
I don't think so we do have some interesting things coming up, but like,
I have no doubt.
It's gonna sound awful, and I'm sorry, guys, but we can't share, and I'm the one who's always yelling at the boys during crossover to like stop talking when they start teasing what's coming up. But competition is fierce.
I don't want to get you guys in trouble, and I don't want to jeopardize anything.
It'd be like trouble with myself. Like, that's really what it would be. Like, I would get mad at myself, and like then the boys would get mad at me because they'd be like, "Really, Kristina, you're the one who like leaked this." Like, so
right.
I'm gonna say stay tuned.
TBD.
Yeah. We're working with a lot of awesome people, and we're always evolving and making things better, and we will be. Oh, yes, let's go.
All right. So this is 2021-22 Chronicles basketball. This comes out next week. So we're opening this a little bit early.
Let's go.
You guys, we should show the outside of this. So we got the who's who of the rookie class on the outside of this box. You got Cade, Evan, Scotty, Jalen Green, Suggs, and Josh Giddey. So the whole crew is there.
Yes.
We were talking about Chronicles earlier. You're also a fan of Chronicles.
I'm a huge fan of Chronicles. Yeah. I think Chronicles is a great product.
Is there one of the brands in Chronicles that you favor? I like what you did there. I'm gonna mirror this. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
She's marketing better than I am here.
I don't know. I like Crusade. I know it's like a weird one that like a lot of people are like.
No, I'm not mad at that at all. That's great. Crusade. I think Crusade is kind of underrated.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think a lot of products are underrated.
I wish you luck. Cheers.
Cheers.
May you pull mini gold.
Let's go.
Okay, so there's a question I ask everybody on the podcast. I'll ask you while we're opening these.
Okay. Do I show all of them or just the
No,
hits?
just the hits.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll blow right through this.
Okay.
I mean, and I feel bad because at home, when I'm not on camera and I'm opening a box, I will take all night to open one box and just really milk it. But I feel like for our audience, they probably don't want to see me reading the back of cards and stuff. So we'll keep it quick. So this is like the pink parallel of Essentials. Josh Christopher, this is out of 49. It's just one of the many.
I've been making jokes like on my Instagram that I'm gonna start collecting him because his name is Josh Christopher, and I'm like, oh, this is like the CardLadder player of Josh and Chris.
Yeah, that seems very appropriate. Okay, so the question for you.
You got a white brick. I always like those.
Yeah, heck yeah. The decoy card. Okay, so the 2018-19 Prism Black 1/1 Luka Doncic has not surfaced, to my knowledge. Do you think it is in some monster collection right now of some whale that doesn't have an Instagram account, doesn't care if anybody knows they have this card? Do you think it's in a box, in a case, in a warehouse collecting dust somewhere? Or do you think, similar to what you said about Maxi Kleber earlier, do you think somebody who wasn't as familiar with the product or maybe that rookie class opened up a hobby box and accidentally blew past the black Luka, or didn't realize the black borders meant something special, and it's in a monster box under someone's bed right now. Where do you think that card lies?
I hope that card is still in a hobby box. I think that if it had been hit, we would have heard about it. I got a auto.
I would think so too.
I think we would have heard about it.
Even if it was somebody that was mega rich, like they would have a shot of them on their yacht holding that card up, awkwardly.
I hope so. I don't know. I guess the Luka collector, because I'm such a Luka collector, I hope that it hasn't been hit, and it's a dream of mine to hit that product myself, or hit that
dream,
card.
The ultimate dream.
I mean, that's everyone's dream, I think. And what I would immediately do is I would grade that puppy and I would put it away and I'd show it off, but then never have it seen again. You would only be able to see it one post that I put on my Instagram.
We all know there's a few cards out there that are overshared.
Yes.
And they're massive cards. The Prism Black Mahomes comes to mind. It's an incredible, Mount Rushmore card, but it's online shared all the time. I think it's maybe for sale, which is why it gets shown a lot. But
maybe
it is that to me. It's cards like that. I wish it were kind of kept under wraps. People have pictures of it, they know what it looks like, but we don't need to see it in our our Instagram.
Our
once
feed
a week.
Every
day.
Our feed. Yeah. Oh, I hit a Josh Christopher out of 25.
There we go.
I don't know. This might be a new PC player for me.
So I got a Luka, and it is Luminance, which is one of my favorite sets in here.
Very nice.
It's they do a lot of full bleed action shots, which I really like. So your version of that story is my favorite, that it's still in a box somewhere and I dream that it's there.
Yeah.
And I tease, now I don't have the bankroll to do this, but I tease a series where all you're doing is hunting that card through unopened product. How would you tune in for that if all this person is doing is opening a box or a case once a week, or who can afford that? But
yes.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Can we get Panini to sponsor you and me doing this?
Yeah, you would have to. I don't think they're interested in sponsoring me, following my dream card. But so I have a Franz Wagner, which is also one of our big rookies, and then
Mobley.
Nice. That's one of the beauties of Chronicles is it is so rookie heavy. We got Cade Cunningham on a marquee.
I got a Dwayne Washington rookie auto.
Wow. Okay, so how many of our autos we pulled? I pulled one.
I pulled two.
You pulled two, okay. What is it? How many
I
autos
think
per
it's
box?
two.
Is it 4?
Oh.
Yeah, we only tease 2 autos per box, so we're already ahead of the average. Good deal. Your good luck here. You do have good luck opening boxes.
I do.
I'm gonna have to do this more often.
Yeah. I also have a Wagner.
Ooh, got
and
a
Suggs.
Nice. Got a Trae Young. This is the Chronicles base. So this is the 75th anniversary card. It's got
nice.
the diamond on them. And they're all out of 75, which I like. Have you already gone through all your packs?
I did, yeah.
Oh my gosh. There you go.
Thanks.
You are good at this. Love it. So of all the rookies in this class, I've been putting some Cade Cunninghams aside. I don't know. He's a lot of fun to watch, but it's up in the air. We were talking earlier about Jalen Green being the sleeper from that rookie class, but Evan Mobley and Scotty Barnes, it's a pretty deep class. I feel like it's
I got the Luka honors.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I don't think that rookie class is being talked about very much, so it might still be a buy for these basketball products. If you've seen it's one of the few years where the Prism football from that year is more expensive than Prism basketball.
I'm sorry, what year?
This
21.
Yeah,
Okay.
21. Yeah. Oh, there's another auto. So we pulled 4 autos from that box. Gosh, that's a darn good box. You really do bring a lot of good luck with you. And a Scotty Barnes. Is that a numbered? I was doing the math for one box. For some reason, I'm like, this was a crazy good box. But we got the average, so perfect.
Yes.
And so what was your favorite card? I like the blue border Rookies and Stars, the Airborne.
Yeah, this is really cool. This blue border Airborne. It's numbered out of 25.
I got an Airborne as well. This is out of 99. That may be one of my favorite parallels from this product. Cool. Okay, Kristina. So tell the audience where they can find you, where they can find the card ladder we talked about, but please empty the tank. Give us all the social media address.
Okay, so you could find me at Kristina's PC. Kristinas PC. Shout out to House of Jordans when I used to always say that.
Not Kristen's PC either.
And you can find CardLadder at CardLadder on all the social media channels or platforms, and then we are also at CardLadder.com in the app and Google Play Store.
Please, for the love, if you aren't using the site yet, go check it out. I promise you, if you're somebody who tracks sales, and most collectors are, you can put your collection in there. It'll tell you kind of the general value of the cards you have based on like latest comps. It's really accurate. I love it. I think you guys will love it too. Download the app. It makes things really simple. You get notifications for all the good stuff, and I'm a big fan. Thank you, Kristina. I really appreciate. I know you're busy, so thank you for coming by and sharing your time.
Anytime you want me to come and open product, please feel free to invite me. I will make time to come.
Well, welcome to Texas.
Thank
you for stopping by Panini, and we'll have you guys on again. So we appreciate it, and we will see you guys for episode 50 coming up next week.